Welcome to our lecture online. Now we're going to tackle, and I really mean tackle, the second portion of the solution to the hydrogen atom in terms of the Schrodinger equation. Remember that the Schrodinger equation was solved in such a way that we had three separate functions multiplied together to form the one singular solution for the wave function of an electron in a hydrogen atom. The first one is the one where the electron has the motion in the azimuth direction. Now we're going to tackle the motion in the what we call the zenith direction. It's a lot more difficult. So the differential equation looks a little bit more complicated. Here it is. This is a differential equation that we derived to find the solution to the second function here. We call it the theta function. Now, what we ultimately will get to is for different values of n, L, and m sub L, the principal quantum number, the angular momentum quantum number, and the magnetic angular momentum quantum number, for different combination values, we'll have these different solutions for this second function, the theta function. But how do we get those solutions from this differential equation? Now that's a little bit more challenging. And we're going to kind of skip over some of the things, get back to it later, because what we want to do is show how we actually can derive these once we have the general solution to that differential equation. For that, we need to use Legendre polynomials, and we'll show you how to do that at a later time. But right now, I just want to give you a flavor of how this was done. So first, we're going to make a substitution. Instead of the cosine of theta, we're going to let that equal to x. Now you say, well, wait a minute. We have a function in terms of theta. The theta function is a function of theta, like this right here. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a difference function, a function of x, where x really represents the cosine of theta rather than theta. And we're going to let this be the substitution for this function right here. But in other words, x is a substitution for the cosine of theta, not of theta. So instead of having a function of theta, we'll have a function of the cosine of theta, and we'll call the cosine of theta x. Then the differential equation can be reformed by using this trick right here, mathematical trick, that the dd theta is equal to dx d theta times d dx. Notice when the dx's cancel out, you get back what you started with. But if we do that, then notice that the dx d theta, since x is equal to the cosine of theta, the derivative of that will be the negative sine of theta times d dx. So we're going to replace the dd theta in our function here by this quantity right here, or I should not function, but our differential equation. So we're going to replace this in our differential equation by this right here. When we do that, then we simplify this. Now we end up with the differential equation in terms of x. And then when we solve that using the Legendre polynomials, the Legendre polynomials, I should call them, then you end up with the following possible solutions based upon the values for m. I should say m sub L if you want to be strictly careful about that, m sub L, and for the values of L. So notice for different combinations, this differential equation, when it's simplified in terms of x, notice that this cancels out and we'll make some additional substitutions. Then you end up with these functions right here. Now what we're going to show you is once you have the solution to the differential equation in terms of x, we're now going to show you how to find the general solutions, or not the general, but the specific solutions for each of these possible combinations of the various quantum numbers. And then, of course, we also need to show you how to normalize those functions to get the exact constants in front of these functions. So we'll do that. We'll show you that. Then later on, we'll show you how to go to the derivation of the Legendre polynomials to actually come up with these solutions. That's a whole other story. But at least that's what we're trying to do. We're going to show you where these specific solutions of our second function in the wave function is going to look like, how we're deriving those and why they look the way they do. That's how it's done.